What if I told you a nearly 500-pound college lineman just transformed himself into one of the most inspiring stories of this NFL season? What if I told you that player, once doubted, once dismissed, is now fighting for a spot on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster? And turning heads across the league, this isn't just about football. This is about heart, about grit, about a man changing his life to chase the impossible. And today, we're going deep inside the training camp battle that could shake the NFL. Something big is happening in Tampa Bay, and I'm not talking about a trade or a win streak. I'm talking about stories that could change everything we think we know about the Buccaneers in 2025. Right now, inside that training facility, there are three players rewriting the story of this team. One of them, a rookie who's fighting against all odds, a player nobody believed would even make it this far. Another, a veteran trying to bounce back from a brutal setback, using pain as fuel to prove he's still got what it takes. And the third, a young name that echoes through football history, quietly building something powerful while everyone else is watching the stars. But this story really starts with Desmond Watson, a man who stepped into the NFL carrying not just massive size, but a mountain of doubt on his shoulders. Watson weighed nearly 500 pounds when he began his college career at Florida. Most people saw that number and gave up on him before he ever touched a football. But what they didn't see was the heart inside him, the fight, the work ethic, the unshakable drive. He didn't miss a single college game in 4 years, not one. While others broke down, he showed up. While others got tired, he pushed harder. That kind of consistency? It's rare. That kind of heart? Even rarer. Then came the real test, the NFL dream. Watson made the decision to change everything. He didn't just want to play pro football. He wanted to earn it. So he started dropping weight, not to look good, not for headlines, but to prove he belongs. By April, he had already dropped from 464 pounds to 437. He kept going. Tampa Bay currently lists him at 449. And every pound lost came with a price, pain, sacrifice, hours of work when no one was watching. This isn't just about trimming fat. This is a total lifestyle transformation. Mind, body, and soul. Watson didn't wait for the NFL to believe in him. He forced them to. Head coach Todd Bowles said it clearly. He's got to make the team first of all. It wasn't a guarantee. It was a challenge. But Bowles didn't stop there. He followed up with something that speaks volumes. We didn't get him for the tush-push. We got him because we think he can play. That's real belief. That's real pressure. Watson is not just some experiment. He's part of a plan. A plan that could change how the Bucs defend the trenches this season. Tampa Bay gave him a 3-year deal. It's not a blockbuster contract, but it comes with something even more valuable, a chance. A belief in potential. A belief in heart over hype. But just when Watson was ready to hit the field and show everyone what he's built, the team dropped a bombshell. Desmond Watson has been placed on the non-football illness list. That means he's still on the 90-man roster, but he can't practice. Not yet. It's a setback, a frustrating one. But if we've learned anything about Desmond Watson, it's this. Setbacks don't break him. They fuel him. So the question is, will this mountain of a man rise again and make the 53? Or will the dream be put on hold? What's your confidence level in Desmond Watson making the final roster? Drop your rating in the comments. 1 for no shot. 10 for he's a lock. Let's hear it, Bucs fans. What happens when your body breaks, but your heart refuses to quit? What happens when one of the most dependable stars in the NFL gets knocked down twice, but stands up stronger? This is the emotional return of Chris Godwin, a quiet warrior, a clutch machine, and a cornerstone of Buccaneers football. But behind the stats and the contract is a man who's fighting for more than just a comeback. He's fighting to reclaim a legacy. Right now, Bucs fans have one big question on their minds. What exactly is going on with Desmond Watson? The team placed him on the non-football illness list, but they didn't say why. No details, no timeline, just silence, and that silence is heavy. Everyone wants to see Watson continue his story, the big man who changed his life to chase a dream. But now, with no answers, people are wondering, is this just a small bump in the road? Or is it something that could crush his shot at making the roster during the most important weeks of preseason? Here's the truth. Desmond Watson has already shown us he doesn't fold under pressure. He changed his body. He fought through every challenge in college. He never missed a game. The only question left now is, Will the NFL give him the chance to finish what he started? But this isn't just Watson's fight. There's another Buccaneer battling something even bigger, and this one hits even deeper. This is the story of Chris Godwin, and it's not just about stats or touchdowns. It's about heart. It's about pain. It's about refusing to let one injury define a career built on clutch moments and unmatched effort. Godwin has been the soul of this offense for years. He caught passes from Tom Brady during championship runs. He's the guy who always finds space when the game's on the line. But last year, everything changed. 7 games into a red-hot season, Godwin was on fire, 50 catches, 576 yards, 5 touchdowns. He was dominating. Then disaster struck, a brutal dislocated left ankle. Just like that, his season was over, and his future clouded. That injury didn't just hurt the team. It shook the foundation of a player who had given everything to this game. And just when fans thought the road to recovery had started, Godwin needed a second surgery. ESPN's Jenna Lane confirmed it. The ankle wasn't healing right. They had to go in and clean it out. That's 2 surgeries, 1 brutal injury, and a mountain of doubt. But here's the part that gives this story life. Chris Godwin is recovering. Quietly, steadily, and stronger than most expected. Tampa Bay had a choice. They could have placed him on the regular PUP list, which would have kept him out for the first 6 weeks of the season. Instead, they put him on the active PUP list. That means they believe. It means he's ahead of schedule. It means he could return any day now. This isn't just a medical decision. This is a franchise saying, we still believe in you. And they've backed that belief with money. Big money. After playing out his rookie deal, the Bucs used the franchise tag on him. They didn't want to risk losing him for a second. Then in 2022, they gave him a 3-year $60 million deal, $40 million guaranteed. But even that wasn't the end. Godwin was set to hit free agency again in 2025. And the Bucs locked him down with another 3-year deal. This time, $66 million, with $45 million guaranteed. You don't pay a player like that unless you know he's special, not just on the field, but in the locker room, in the weight room, in the soul of the team. Chris Godwin isn't just another wide receiver. He's part of Tampa Bay's identity. And now, after everything he's been through, he's fighting for one more run. One more season to show that greatness doesn't fade. It just battles back harder. Will Chris Godwin return to Pro Bowl form in 2025? Rate your confidence in the comments. 1 for doubtful, 10 for guaranteed bounce back. Let's get real about one of our own. What do you do when the world only sees your last name? When the shadow of a Hall of Famer follows your every move, and all you want is to be seen for who you are? This is the story of Shiloh Sanders, a young man battling pressure, expectation, and legacy. But he isn't asking for a spotlight. He's quietly earning his place, one humble gesture at a time. And Bucs Nation, he might just be the most heartwarming story of this entire camp. Every training camp has that one name fans keep circling, Chris Godwin. We already talked about the injury, the surgery, and the emotional battle to get back. But now it's time for the question that's keeping Bucs fans up at night. Will Chris Godwin be ready for Week 1? Not just physically present, we're talking ready. Can he take hits again? Can he plant on that ankle, make sharp cuts, and explode off the line like the Godwin we've loved for years? Can he still be that guy in crunch time? The Bucs front office clearly believes so. They didn't just pay him, they committed to him. That means something, but belief only goes so far. Now, it's about action. Recovery, conditioning, reps, game speed. And for a guy who's already fought through a torn ACL in 2021, this latest comeback is just another mountain to climb. But if you followed Chris Godwin's career, you know one thing. He doesn't just climb mountains, he sprints up them. But just as fans are locked in on Godwin's return, another story is quietly unfolding. One that doesn't involve millions of dollars or Pro Bowls. This one starts at the very bottom of the NFL mountain with an undrafted rookie, Shiloh Sanders. The name sounds familiar for a reason. His father? Deion "Primetime" Sanders, a legend, a Hall of Famer, a cultural icon. But this story isn't about Deion. It's about a young man trying to earn his spot, not borrow it. When the 2025 NFL Draft ended, Shiloh's phone was silent. He wasn't selected. He wasn't hyped. No ESPN graphics. No celebrations. But then, one call changed everything. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were the first team to reach out. The first to say, "We see something in you." The first to offer a chance. And for Shiloh, that meant the world. "I'm forever grateful," he said in his first press conference. And you could hear it in his voice. This isn't just a football opportunity. It's personal. Shiloh isn't trying to become the next Deion. He's trying to become the first Shiloh. And the way he's doing it? Quiet, professional, humble. According to head coach Todd Bowles, Shiloh has shown veteran-level respect and effort. No flash, no ego, just work. In fact, one of the first things Shiloh did in camp, he took on the role of snack guy in the safety room, stocking the meeting room with his teammates' favorite snacks. Not to suck up, but to show appreciation. "It's the least I can do," Shiloh said, acknowledging how much the veterans were helping him adjust. That's not just a gesture. That's character. But it gets better. When Shiloh had his first media availability, he didn't just walk in and start answering questions. He walked up to every single reporter, shook their hand, introduced himself, and said, "My new media team's here." Nobody else on the roster did that. Not one other player. According to ESPN's Jenna Lane, Shiloh's maturity and respect stood out big time. Even Deion Sanders made the trip to Tampa to support his son. And when the Bucs' all-time great, Ron Barber, crossed paths with Prime at camp, you could feel the history in the air. But Shiloh? He wasn't chasing the spotlight. He was watching film. He was taking reps. He was working like a guy who knows that legacy doesn't buy you playing time in this league. And here's the truth. If you didn't know his last name, you'd still be impressed by the way he carries himself. He's not trying to be a Sanders. He's trying to be a Buccaneer. And in a camp full of breakout rookies, big names, and veterans returning from injury, Shiloh Sanders might just be writing the quietest, most powerful story of them all. What happens when a young player refuses to let his family legacy define him? When a coach sees the true potential of an undrafted rookie, not because of his name, but because of his grit? Shiloh Sanders is fighting for every rep, and it's the kind of story that could define this Buccaneers season. But it's not just about him. It's about a culture of relentless pursuit, where every player is proving their worth on the field. And when these stories collide, the NFL won't know what hit it. This camp is setting the stage for something special, and it's not just about the names everyone already knows. Sure, Chris Godwin's comeback is dominating the headlines, and Desmond Watson's transformation is inspiring us all. But there's another story bubbling under the surface. It's the story of a young man who, despite carrying the weight of one of the NFL's most iconic last names, is determined to build his own legacy, not inherit one. This is Shiloh Sanders' story. And while Deion Sanders, primetime himself, has been a major presence at training camp, that's not the story we're focusing on. The real story is about Shiloh and his journey to prove that he deserves a place on this roster, not because of his father, but because of his work, his dedication, and his character. Head coach Todd Bowles summed it up perfectly. "Normal day for me as far as I'm concerned. It's a father coming to see his son like all of us would be doing." That response encapsulates the environment Bowles and the coaching staff have created for Shiloh. It's not about the last name, it's about the player in front of them. It's about Shiloh Sanders, the young man, the rookie, the fighter. Here's what makes his story so compelling. Shiloh isn't stepping into this training camp with any sense of entitlement. He didn't get drafted. He wasn't promised a spot. He's an undrafted free agent fighting for every single rep. He knows that every snap, every drill, every single opportunity could determine whether his NFL dream stays alive or fades away. And right now, he's leaving everything out on the field. Sanders isn't here to just take up space. He's here to make an impact. His approach to the game is no nonsense. He's taking on the role of snack guy for the safety room, a small gesture, but one that shows his humility and willingness to contribute however he can. He's learning from the veterans. He's putting in the work, and it's paying off. The Bucs' veterans have noticed his effort. His teammates have embraced him, not as Dion's son, but as Shiloh, a player who's hungry, humble, and ready to prove himself. The respect he's earned goes beyond the field. During his first press availability, he made sure to shake hands with every reporter, introducing himself with sincerity and respect. That's the kind of professionalism that makes you stand out, and in the NFL, that's everything. But here's the kicker. Shiloh isn't just playing for a roster spot. He's playing for himself. He's not trying to fill shoes. He's trying to carve out his own place in this league. And just when you think this story couldn't get any more inspiring, it does. This isn't just about a rookie trying to prove himself. It's about a culture. This is about a Buccaneers organization built on resilience, commitment, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Desmond Watson's transformation, Chris Godwin's recovery, Shiloh Sanders' humble grind. These aren't just individual stories. They're representative of a bigger narrative. A narrative where every player, no matter their pedigree, has to earn their success. Where greatness is not inherited, it's earned. Tampa Bay is building something special, and these three players, each fighting their own battle, are going to help lead this team back to where it belongs. The real question is this: will the rest of the NFL be ready when these stories reach their peak? When these guys are fully healthy, fully on their game, and fully firing on all cylinders? It's going to be game over for anyone who thought this Bucs team was down for good. If you're feeling fired up, if these stories remind you why you love football, why you love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, then now's the time to show it. Smash that like button, drop your boldest predictions in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more content that digs deep into the heart of this team. Because these stories, they're just getting started. And when they all come together, watch out, NFL. Tampa Bay isn't done yet. Which of these stories is motivating you the most? Who do you think will make the biggest impact this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is just the beginning.